Arg! Ahoy there, matey! Welcome aboard the world of boating.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I was just looking into buying a boat of my own.
Call World of Boating toll-free now at 1-8888-28-BOAT. That's 1-888-828-BOAT.
And welcome. This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate. Barry the boater rounding out the crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information. Yeah, we got a skeleton's crew today, which is probably appropriate for this time of year as we gear up for Halloween and try to scare the bejesus out of everybody. Are you ready for Halloween, Barry, or what?
No.
What do you mean, no? You look pretty spooky on the, Facebook Live and YouTube.
Always
channels.
spooky. Well, I'm golden today. Today I'm wearing my golden shirt because we don't have our captain with us, so I have to try to.
Is it golden or is it slight like orange? That's
well,
that's
it's
what
golden, but that's because your
I'm
video,
into Halloween. Yeah,
your video information is not correct.
I don't know what
you
mean.
You didn't adjust my white balance properly, so I look yellow on your monitor.
Okay, if you say so. But I look orange, and you can see us on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch, and we apologize if you're watching us live today.
Yeah, that is
in advance as we it's scary. Let's be honest.
The nice thing about Halloween is that it comes around this time of year, and something else comes around this time of year, and they usually have bowls
pumpkin spice lattes.
Oh God, all I've been eating is pumpkin spice.
Yeah,
it's not that I'm buying it though. There are other people in this household that seem to like to buy it. Well, but I'm talking about a place where they have bowls of candy sitting out as you go to observe all the new stuff out there.
Yeah,
you're going to tell
like
us
at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show.
That's it. That's right.
They'll have a ton of candy bowls all around the boat show next week, and of course it'll be like week-old Halloween candy. So it'll still be fresh enough.
It'll be fresh.
It'll still be fresh enough. Yeah.
And I'll bring a backpack and load it up, and then I just put it all out front.
Is that what you do?
I didn't have to pay. Yeah, I didn't.
You re-gift your Halloween candy?
Hey, my kids used to sell it at school. They didn't want it. They would bring it to school and sell it.
Wow.
Yeah, they were entrepreneurs.
Where are they now? As far away from you as possible, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Okay. That's a whole different issue. All right, let's focus on boats. We got a lot to cover today, including the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. It kicks off next week, and we're going to get into that, talk about some of the highlights you might want to look out for if you're heading down to Fort Lauderdale. It's funny, when you go to their website, they don't even say that it's the largest in-water boat show anymore. They say the greatest. They don't want to take credit for being the largest in-water boat show, evidently, on the website now, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if they've been eclipsed by something or not, but that's what it's always been for years and years, and it's still huge. Over 100,000 people show up at the boat show, so I don't know. It's known as the largest in-water boat show in the world. For this kind of thing, or maybe in the U.S. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, it's so big that you really cannot see it all in a day. You will die of exhaustion.
Right.
You need to come down for 2 or 3 days. Yeah. Stay at a hotel. Do 6-7 hours of it each day because there's that much to do.
Right. There's a lot of stuff to see at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. And, we'll cover it a little bit. But before we get to that, I want to cover a story that is paramount to cover today because Captain Patrick's not here. And I don't have to listen to him complain about, these aren't boats. And the people that go on these are not boaters. So I figured since it's just Barry and Barry doesn't give a crap, we're going to talk a little bit about cruise ships. They are a form of boating travel, whether you like it or not. And I'm not going to get into the, issue of like, if you go on a cruise, are you a boater? We're not going to go there today. That's not the purpose of this. We're going to talk about going on cruise ships and what are the best ones out there right now, because I have done a few.
Only a few.
I have done a lot.
You have frequent flyer cups. They send you a cup and you just hang it up and you pick which one you're going to go to next.
Well, my family loves to do these cruises. And over the years, I've done quite a few cruises, so I'm pretty familiar with all the brands and what's going on in the cruise industry. And we bring this up every now and then Patrick gets, his vein starts popping on his forehead, and he's, we never can talk about it, in depth. But today we're going to, since he's not here. We have the freedom, the headroom.
He's going to be screaming at the radio.
Right. And let him, because he's not here. We don't care.
He's getting ready for the boat show.
Yes. But we're going to educate our passengers today on the world of boating, a little bit about the cruise industry and what's available to you if, you don't have your own boat. You want to go out on a boat and still get a nautical vibe going, because they all do have this, Barry. Now, you haven't even been on a cruise ship.
No.
Right?
I worked on cruise ships. There's a company
like years ago. That was in ancient times.
I know that, but
it was called Noah's Ark.
No, not quite.
The boat no, that wasn't it.
I did do work on cruise ships.
Yeah.
I cruised with it when I was doing the work. We went to Puerto Rico.
Right, but we're talking 30 years ago.
Oh, more than
that.
It's
a totally different
40 years ago. The
industry
biggest,
now.
I'm trying to remember the name of the biggest ship at the time. I had to go look it up, but compared to what they have now, this was small.
Yeah, right. It's night and day. The industry has matured quite a bit over the years, and there was just a new listing of the top best value cruise ships. And this is from U.S. News, U.S. News and World Report. And what do you think came back as the #1 cruise line for value in cruising today? You have a guess? You know some of them.
Probably Royal Caribbean.
Royal Caribbean, very popular cruise line, is not listed as the #1 best cruise line for the money.
There's Princess.
Princess is not listed.
Don't
Even
tell
though they're
me Disney.
huge as well, Disney is not listed as the #1.
Wait,
so you
then
mentioned
Norwegian.
There's Norwegian. They are not #1.
Wait a minute.
And
then the other one would be
Virgin.
Virgin.
It's just been around for 8 years. They just got
They only
crowned.
have one ship.
They have 3, and they just got crowned the best cruise line for the money, according to U.S. News and World Report.
And I think that's more of an adult type cruise ship, right?
Well, it is. Yeah, no kids. And I think it's the big
that's
draw.
The big seller there, right?
Yeah.
So everyone has a key to everyone else's cabin.
Well, that depends on the cruise and the group you're cruising with, I think.
Okay. It is an interesting ship. The bow on that is so strange compared to every other ship out there.
The equipment really makes the difference. That's what she said. And in cruising, it is paramount, if you ask me. And so Virgin has these 3 new ships, and they got some more coming online soon. But they are very, very nice, technically advanced cruise ships that are definitely unique. They have that bright scarlet red color vibe to them. I mean, when you see them in the harbor, they're an impressive vessel and stand out from the other cruise ships for sure.
There's only one in Miami, isn't there?
There's 2 now.
There's 2 at Port of Miami?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
They just launched another one a few months ago. So
are they in the same dock, or do
they're actually
over?
They're identical.
So you can't tell the difference.
not just the name. There's a Scarlet Lady. There's a Valiant Lady, and I've been on the Scarlet Lady twice now, and I'm going again.
And then there's the Nauseous Lady.
No, that is not true. But when they're docked up against all the Royal Caribbeans and Disney cruise ships and Carnival and Princess, I mean, they do stand out. And interestingly enough, they're not the biggest as far as size-wise. They're kind of right in the middle as far as the size of the cruise ship. And here they came out as #1 best value in cruise ship, according to U.S. News and World Report. Why? Well, I will tell you what I think is the case, because I have cruised with them a few times. And we'll discuss this and educate our passengers a little bit better. Like I said, you're not necessarily a full-fledged boater when you go on a cruise ship, but you're on the water, and it counts for something, Barry. Come on, right?
Yeah, I agree. You're a passenger.
Okay. Wait, that's not what I said. But we are going to get into this today on the World of Boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Ahoy, sailors and sea-loving scalawags! Do you feel lost at sea when your boat needs an upgrade? And does installing electronics make you want to walk the plank? Well, shiver me timbers and fear not, because MPI, Marine Professionals Incorporated, has come to the rescue. MPI is ready to steer your boat into the digital age. That's right, mates. The installation gurus at MPI can install the latest navigation gizmos. MPI installs all the major manufacturers of state-of-the-art entertainment systems. We've got speakers that'll make Davy Jones dance, and screens so sharp you'll think you're watching Pirates of the Caribbean in 3D. So, if you're ready to sail the digital seas in style and party like a true buccaneer, call me mates at MPI 954-763-4161 or request your free consultation now at marineprofessionals.com.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
Successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the world of boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Come on, Williams, what are you standing around for here? Get on board.
Get on board. Don't fret. Don't try to worry. Just get on board. I'll take you there.
This is the world of boating. Greg, your first mate, Barry the Boater, rounding out the crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information. And just take this opportunity, since Captain Patrick's not here, to talk a little bit about cruise ships, because he hates them, doesn't think they count as boats. You know, he has the same mentality when it comes to Jimmy Buffett music. And so, you know, we have a difference of opinion on that. And so since he's not here and I don't have to listen to him bitch about it, we're going to talk about cruise ships a little bit today.
Well, number one, I don't think he hates cruise ships or cruising.
Oh, yeah, he does.
He just doesn't agree with your differentiation of a passenger versus a boater. But you can also be a passenger on a small boat.
Right. But you're still boating.
You're still boating. Yeah, you're just in a very large boat that you have really no control over.
Well, that is true. But once again, even when you're on a cruise ship and there are these big, massive boats, most of these cruise lines have a nautical, bar, nook,
well, of course,
all kinds of cool nautical stuff on display on their boat. I mean, it's pretty impressive stuff.
They have a shop where you could buy your nautical jewelry and all your nautical duty-free alcohol and stuff like that.
Yeah, there'll be some store, some kind of play on words like Who's Not's store where you go in there and buy souvenirs.
Do they still have casinos on all these ships?
Of course. Yeah, that's a given.
Except for Disney. Disney wouldn't have
Except for Disney, right. Yeah. But they're not listed in the top, best value of cruise ships either, according to U.S. News and World Report.
World Reports. I can't believe you actually read that.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, Virgin came in at number one. And I looked at the list, and it's pretty accurate from what I know. I mean, here's the thing. Why, Virgin has come on the scene. They're only 8 years old, and they've already taken the top spot. Why? Well, two reasons. When it comes to best value, they do a kind of an all-inclusive kind of thing, where a lot of the other cruise lines have a different price structure, where they have a tendency to nickel and dime you a little bit. And you know, when you look at them, you know, on the surface, and you're like perusing the internet, or, you know, like, hey, I want to go on a cruise line, and you look at the price, like, gosh, that Virgin trip is like, you know, $500-600, $1,000 more than a Carnival cruise or something like that. And then when you get in and you start looking at it, you realize, like, oh, wait a minute, a lot of stuff is included on the Virgin things that kind of, you know, a la cartes on the others, and it's like shopping for airfare. You know, and doing a budget carrier versus all-inclusive kind of thing. And next thing you know, all this stuff is included, and you're like, okay, this actually is a pretty good value.
I'm sure it can be a good value depending on what you use on a cruise ship. So, I mean, if you're just, okay, so let's say I'm just learning right now.
Yes.
All right.
Well, as you are.
I haven't been, as I am. I haven't been out on a cruise ship in 50 years
Right.
since there were sails and steam engines. All right. So the question is that if you're going to start out, do you start out with the most expensive all-inclusive, or do you start out a little bit smaller and see what you enjoy doing? I've heard stories about people, they'll buy the all-you-can-drink ticket, so you can drink until you're hungover for the next 5 days.
Right.
Or it used to be that you would always eat in a dining room. But I understand that's sort of changed now.
Well, no, it depends.
That could be upgraded.
Well, see, that's where it comes into like upcharges. So Virgin includes all their upgraded, you know, restaurants, specialty dining is what they call it, in their base fare, pretty much. Now,
so you're basically paying for everything in one shot.
Yeah.
Does that include the prerequisite tips that instead of
you can do that? Yeah, that's included in Virgin. You know, so they do that. They do the specialty dining, a few other things, you know. I mean, they have extra charges you can get, like, you know, a Wi-Fi, and then you have all your excursions that you can do and things like that. And then as far as their drink package structure, at least on Virgin, they do it a little different. Yeah, you can do that all-you-can-drink kind of thing on Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and that kind of thing. And if you're a big drinker, it may make sense to do that. But on Virgin, it's a little different. They'll usually give you a credit for a bar tab, and then you pay as you go with that bar tab. It's not like an all-inclusive kind of thing. And they also don't charge quite as much either. So their drink prices are actually pretty reasonable compared, especially to like Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and Princess, and the other bigger lines. So it's a different way they've come in and you know, invaded the cruise line industry space, and it's going over quite well. Now, I think, you know, value-wise, like I said, on the surface, when you look at it online and you're pricing this stuff out, first glance, you might think, yeah, the Virgin seems a little bit more expensive, but it's really not when you know, look at, like, oh, it already includes all the specialty dining. It already includes your tips. It includes this, that, and the other thing. And next thing you know, when you add all the stuff up, it's like, okay, it's a pretty good value. And they're getting good, they're getting very high marks on their food. And those specialty dining restaurants, that is, they really excel on that. That is, it is impressive food. And then, so, you know, you go on a cruise like that, Barry, and it's not like you ease into it. You just want to go on one that is going to, you know, you're going to say, okay, the one we're doing in December is going to stop off at Key West for a day. It's just a little 4-nighter trip out of Miami. It's going to go to Key West for a day. It's going to go to Bimini in the Bahamas for a day. And when we initially looked at doing that trip, the whole idea was we really wanted to go to Bimini, but we started looking at what it would cost for us to fly over to Bimini, stay there for a few nights, and, you know, do some diving and stuff like that, that we realized, like, look, we could go on this cruise ship. We wouldn't only spend a day there, but a full day. We could get a full day of diving, and it would be cheaper because our food is covered, you know, a lot of our drinks are covered, you know, and our accommodations are all set on this cruise ship. And we went and we had an amazing time. And it, value-wise, when you know, compared it to flying and getting a hotel, it was like, wow, this is quite a bargain.
So
you know?
basically what you need to do is, as any accountant would do, is you'd set up a spreadsheet
with
the different ideas. And
if you're a nerd.
What's included, well, yeah, I am a nerd.
Okay,
so
all right.
That's what I would do to get a better idea of, like, as far as a drink package, no, I might have a beer.
Right. Well,
But
and once again, you
I'm
don't
not
have to
like,
get that.
Yeah.
You know, Virgin is a little bit different in how they structure their drink package
Okay.
stuff. So, and even on the other ones, you don't have to get the drink package. That's just up to you whether you use it.
Just buy a single drink and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely have that option, you know,
Yeah.
so you can keep things, you know, within reason, for sure, price-wise, especially if you don't drink or you don't want to drink that much. And then, you know, you got to look at what you want to do. What are you looking to achieve? Are you looking to go to a place or just looking for a getaway? You know, the thing, once again, that's nice about the Virgin boat as well is that the ship itself is so technically advanced. I mean, it's impressive just to walk around the boat and see all the cool electronics and technology that they've figured into the vessel. It's
I could bring
impressive.
my tools and fix something.
Well, you could. Yeah, you take a tour of the helm. I mean, they usually offer those up, and you can learn quite a bit about these vessels. And then you got the awesome view. It's a pretty awesome view out there on the ocean when you're on one of these boats, especially high up off the water's edge. So, okay, we're going to keep navigating the cruise ship industry a little bit, and then we'll get to Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show next on the World of Boating.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 PSI left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Do you have a message or product you need to share with the boating world? Well, look no further than the World of Boating radio show. Just like you, thousands of boating enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to worldofboating.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
The word ship is hidden inside the word leadership as its derivation. So, if this office is in fact a ship, as its leader, I am the captain. But we're all in the same boat.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Captain, please, can you see my fire? Message in a bottle, starboard side.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate. Barry the Boater rounding out the crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information. Get ready for the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show and educate our passengers a little bit on cruising. Literally cruise ships. It does count as boating, a form of boating, despite what Captain Patrick believes. So we're talking about it since he's not here. We can get away with it without turning into a big argument. All right, so Virgin Voyages just got crowned #1 best value in the cruise industry, according to U.S. News and World Report. They just released a new list. That's pretty impressive considering they're new to the industry. Only been around 8 years. I've been on I've been on 2 of them. I'm going on another one at the end of December. And you know what I will say is they are pretty good value when you look at all the stuff that they include. Like the food is really good and all that kind of. One of the big draws, though, and this really doesn't have anything to do with the value element of Virgin Voyages, and that's how they got the #1. But the big draw for me and everybody I spoke to is that they don't allow kids. It's adults only, 18 and over.
And I think that's what makes it special.
Definitely makes it special and more appealing to people who don't want to be hanging around with kids on their vacation. So, you know, just it's a different vibe, obviously more adult. The entertainment is definitely more adult and a little bit, let's just say you have to have an open mind because it's not your traditional cruise line entertainment on Virgin. I mean, they have like drag shows and, all kinds of crazy stuff. So, not really.
And this will be your third drag show then.
Well, now, look, the entertainment.
Greg, it's 2023. I'm fine with it.
Well,
whatever you enjoy doing, it's great.
That is not my thing. And I will say right up front, despite what Barry believes, that's their weakest link, if you ask me. But their food is exceptional.
Obviously, it's not if they're doing that well.
Well, and it has, once again, it depends. No, it depends on what you want to do. If you're going with a bunch of friends and like what we were doing to go over to the Bahamas, and we found like, look, we could do this cruise.
You and a bunch of guys are going over to go diving in the Bahamas.
And it was cheaper to go on the Virgin boat, stay on the boat for our accommodations. The food was exceptional. The boat itself is quite an attraction in its own right.
Oh, yeah. She's beautiful.
And there's plenty of places to drink on the boat. And that's kind of what we were doing as well. So when we weren't diving, we were having a cocktail or two and hanging out, maybe having a cigar in a couple of the areas where you could have a cigar and that kind of stuff. And it was just a great time. It was really a really nice vessel and great vibe. In the entertainment, we just didn't do that. That wasn't.
They couldn't just drop you off in Bimini for a couple of days and then you could have Dennis fly you back?
No, you can't do that legally.
Why?
Customs frowns on that kind of stuff. So you have to go. If you go in on the boat, you got to come back on the boat.
Interesting.
To do it, properly. They don't.
So if the boat sank in the middle of the ocean, but you swam all the way back, they would throw you back out?
No, I think they might make an exception.
They would make. Okay.
All right. By the way, best value cruise line was Virgin Voyages, which is, like I said, pretty impressive for just being in the industry for 8 years, followed by Carnival. And then they came up with Celebrity. And,
I forgot about them.
MSC and Princess Cruises. So those are the top 5. Then it was Royal Caribbean. And I'd say that, I've been on all of them. Actually, I have not been on MSC.
I think they're more of a smaller ship, and I think they may also be adults only. I'm not sure.
What, MSC?
I think so.
No, that is incorrect. You're incorrect, sir.
Okay. Well, that's why I'm deferring to you on that.
Yeah, MSC is kind of, they're trying to come, they're relatively new to the dance too. And they're kind of going after the same market as Royal Caribbean and NCL, Norwegian, and that kind of thing.
What were the ships that they have, like in Iceland and Greenland and all that? Those ships that jump around.
You don't
know what brands those are?
Well, I mean, I'm going on one next year on NCL Norwegian.
Okay, so
that goes to Iceland and Norway and that kind of thing. So, same kind. As a matter of fact, the boat we're going on with NCL is similar to what Virgin has as far as size wise. Once again, Virgin, they don't have the biggest boats.
No,
so bigger is not necessarily better as far as what's going on in the industry right now. Now, Royal Caribbean has by far the biggest cruise ships on the ocean, and they are impressive pieces of equipment. If you go on one of these big monster vessels, you can walk around for a day, and it's like going to a mega resort in Vegas or something.
Yeah, it looks more like a hotel that they just planted on top of a barge.
Well, kind of.
I mean, it looks like a cruise ship, but it's huge.
It's more like a theme park because they have different themed areas, and there was one of the Royal Caribbean boats I went on, literally in the middle of the vessel. Yeah, it looks like you're walking through Central Park in New York.
Yeah. I see them in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
And they're just huge.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what the wind does when they're trying to steer these things.
Nothing.
Well, I'm sure that it's designed for that, but I'm saying they are huge ships.
They are massive boats, and you don't feel like you're necessarily rocking on a boat. A lot of people don't do cruises because I couldn't get sick, and then now a boat that big, there's no way you should feel anything. So if you are prone to seasickness, just go on the biggest boat you can afford.
Well, don't go in November and December when the Gulfstream you could get 13-foot rollers.
Well, even then, those big monster boats like that, it doesn't really faze them that much. So you get on one of those big Royal Caribbean ones, forget about it. It's you won't feel it, and they're impressive in their own right. And the shows on them, especially when you get on these bigger Royal Caribbean ones. Now, the entertainment on those are very good. Now, Royal Caribbean does allow kids, and they're a little bit more family friendly, especially compared to Virgin. But their cruise ship entertainment is top notch. It is very good, approaching what you would experience maybe in Vegas, Broadway. That not quite to that level of talent, but darn near close, and very impressive stuff. I mean, they have high dive shows on the Royal Caribbean boats that they're up like a couple stories, 2 or 3 stories, and dive off the edge of the boat into a pool. It's nuts. So it is impressive entertainment that they have on some of them. So, if you're thinking about doing something like this, especially first timer, that's where I would steer you. Go on the newest and biggest boat. If you're worried about seasickness, for sure. But and if you don't mind kids, I'd go Royal Caribbean, big monster boat, or, find a group of friends and go on the Virgin thing, or Norwegian. Carnival's very economical, by the way. They're the kind of party group, and they can definitely entertain you quite a bit if you have a group of folks that want to go out there and blow it out, almost like you're doing spring break, reliving your earlier days there, Barry. That's what Carnival is for. You can still, they're good too. The food's pretty decent, but value-wise,
I'm sure all the cruise ships are great.
Well, I wouldn't say all of them are. It depends on which one you book. Even in there, like I said, if you go with a newer vessel, you're going to be happier than if you book a cruise ship that's been around for 20 years and maybe showing its age a little bit. It really is a big difference between the newer boats and the older boats.
I do like paddle ships, though.
Well, okay, you could do a river cruise, American river cruise. Now, Barry, once again, his first cruise was Noah's Ark, but what are you going to do? More coming up.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network. Successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
You can't have 5 people or 10 people in a boat.
So if it is a family of 4 or 5, like husband, wife, and kids, they're going to have to pick 2 of them at a time.
They would, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Greaseball, where did you get the right to tell me how many people can come on my boat? Nobody asked that question. Whoa, really? It's on the boat or on the dock? Nobody said anything.
Sweetly sailing, darling, sweetly sailing by the sea.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate. Barry the Boater, rounding out the crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information. Get ready for the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. Kicks off this week, just in time for Halloween. What are you going dressed up as, Barry? Yourself?
I am not going to be wearing my red cap there. It's too warm.
It is. It is
if
too
it were
warm, right?
20 degrees colder, I would be wearing it. But and I don't want to lose it, really.
I wonder how many people actually dress up. Do they? It actually isn't going to.
I would say anyone that works there, especially you had the folks from the Bahamas are going to be there.
Yeah, they'll be wearing their Bahamian print, dress shirts.
Sure,
of course
they'll
they
still
do
be
that.
Dressed up nice. Yeah,
and then you'll see a lot of people dressed up as boaters. They'll be wearing their boater attire.
Everyone's going to be wearing their Sperry topsiders and their shorts and their button-down flowery
Need a
shirts.
new pair of shoes? Go to the super yacht area, and when they make
they're all laid out there for you.
I had that happen once. I've told that story. It happened to be at the Miami Boat Show, not the Fort Lauderdale one. But we're checking out the cruise. We're checking out the motor yachts in the marina, Bayside, and you have to slip your shoes off before you head out on the boat. And I came back after we took the tour, and like my shoes are gone. Somebody stole my friggin' shoes.
That's your fault for getting the highest end, the most expensive shoes you can get.
Well, it's just how I roll.
I know you're fancy.
Yeah, but I don't advise you taking someone else's shoes, but just keep an eye on yours, or just if you do go to the boat show.
Mine are so disgusting, no one will take them.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Wear some beaters that you don't care if you lose.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, it happens this week. Friday night's the car show event, too, where they do the concourse or something is Fort Lauderdale Concourse at the Super Yacht Village. And that's quite a spectacle because they combine the fancy, the
high-end expensive cars we can't afford.
Well, no. Here's the thing. I mean, they actually some of the super yachts. You buy one of the super yachts, you get a free car.
Oh, you get a free car.
Lamborghini.
That's how expensive these yachts are.
Yeah, it's what they do. If you want to bargain, that's the place to do it. They might throw in a free car, especially on Friday night.
I think people should be buying my limited edition Captain Gregory Crunch cereal.
I don't know what's wrong with Barry or something.
I had that because Allie tried to get Loki cereal. You know Loki, the TV show?
Yes, I have heard of this.
Okay, so they come out once a year with Loki Charms, like Lucky Charms.
Okay.
But it's sold out before she can get it. So I'm going to give her my limited edition Captain Gregory Crunch cereal box.
Okay, all right. Well, if you want to scar your kids more than what you've done already, you're well on your way there, Barry.
I try to make my kids happy.
Yeah. Okay, but Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, you might be heading out there. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it. Mike the Mariner's plan to be there. I believe Captain Patrick has to go, at least during the week, during setup.
Well, he has a lot of boats to put
We will get an update on that. When it comes to the super yachts, I'm not positive this will be the queen of the show, but it very well may be. Because they're calling this one it's called the Ocean Z. It's a 50-meter super yacht that will be at the boat show. Yeah, so you figure 3 feet, so 150 feet. Yeah. And it's boasts a range of 3,800 nautical miles and a cruising speed of 13 knots.
Does it have a helipad on it?
I can't tell from the picture. I don't think it does. Well, no, actually it could. On the bow of this one, it's possible.
On the bow?
Yeah.
That would be an odd place. Usually they're on the stern. The stern section.
Well, looks like it does have a flat section on the bow, but you can't tell from the picture for sure. And I'd say that's probably right at the edge. 150 feet. You almost need to be a little bit bigger to include the helipad, don't you think?
Helicopters aren't that big. Have you ever been on one?
Well, yeah, I have.
Yeah, so they're not that big. Depending on what you get, they would be like a 2 or 4 passenger Bell Jet, which I don't know if they make those anymore.
Right. But the Ocean Z could be the queen of the show. I don't know if they officially recognize that at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, but the queen of the show. We've had this discussion before, and of course, Patrick, you're making it up. You're making it up. It's not. It is the thing. It's the biggest boat on display at the boat show. So whatever boat show you go to, the biggest one, they call it the queen of the show. So it could be Ocean Z at Fort Lauderdale, or they might have something even bigger than that. But that's all I see online at this point. So we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for a bigger vessel than 150 feet or 50 meters.
Well, the yachts that you like are trawlers.
Okay, why do you say this?
Because you happen to like trawlers.
I do like trawlers, but I'm not just Grand Banks or something like that?
Grand Banks, that's what you always
I wouldn't say that was my favorite. I just like really, really big vessels. The bigger, better. Bigger, the better. I mean, I don't want to pay for it. I don't want to operate it.
You don't want to get nauseous.
I want it as big as a cruise ship. Okay. And then, yeah, so if I went on one of those super yachts like that, I would be a boater, wouldn't I? If I had a 150-foot super yacht and it was mine.
If you owned it, yeah.
So if I own it, now I'm a boater. If I'm just on it, now I'm not.
You're a passenger.
But if I own it, I'm not going to run it. I'm going to have a captain.
Go buy yourself a Virgin ship, and it'll be yours. You'll be the owner. You'll be the boater.
See, that makes no sense, Barry.
Well, you're the owner then.
Well, okay,
instead of a passenger, I mean, you are it. It's yours.
Well, in a way, when you go on a cruise ship like the Virgin Voyage cruise ship, you're paying to go on the boat. You're paying to be a quote-unquote part owner of the vessel in a sense.
What's that ticket that they give you? It says passenger?
I don't know if it says that or not. Actually, it says sailor.
Sailor?
They call them sailors. Welcome aboard, sailor.
Or souls. When
they call it on Virgin Voyages, you're referred to as a sailor.
A sailor.
Yes. So there, suck it. I'm a boater. So, any way you look at it. See, it's all semantics. I just love the idea of being out on the water. I think that counts. Yeah. And
I know a couple of years ago they had a submarine there. One of those. We saw it together. It had a big plexiglass. Yeah, at the boat show.
Yeah, they'll be there. That company
would be
will
nice to try out.
That company will be on display at the boat show. They're always always there because their factory, their business is down that way in South Florida.
It is?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know them. I know them well.
Wait,
yeah, of course
you haven't introduced. You keep them away.
I'm smart enough to keep you away from them.
Keep me away from them. Okay, thanks.
Yes, yeah. They'll have submarines. They'll have every product you can imagine known to man. They can put on a boat. Will be there. MPI are people. They'll be out there hanging out.
And the electronics. If you go over to the Broward Convention Center, where they have the indoor part of it, electronics galore. So you can pick out what you want, and then have MPI do the work for you, or purchase right from them.
And they got a pool. They don't got Twiggy the water skiing squirrel. I don't think that's on the docket for the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, but they do got a pool, or they're going to be doing water sports demos, paddle boards and things like that, and toys that you can put on your vessel.
Will this be outdoors by the
I think it's inside the convention center.
It is?
Yeah,
okay.
If I saw correctly. I think they might have one outside too, but I know they have one inside. So a lot of stuff going on. It's a massive boat show, and I highly recommend it if you've never been. Many ways to get there: water, taxi, parking. Just go to the website.
And weather's going to be beautiful this week.
There you
tell
go.
You already.
All right.
Yeah.
So Barry the Boater is predicting great weather and Halloween candy. And so you can't go wrong. So there you go. We've informed you as best we can, and we'll leave it at that note till next time. Remember, whether it's sail or motor,
life is better as a boater.
Safe boating, everyone.
Barnacle-bitten swab. World of Boating is brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Any of this getting through to you, son?
World of Boating is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Computer standing by.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past shows worldwide over the internet at worldofboating.com.
Computers can do that?
So tell a friend and come aboard every week for the World of Boating.
This is so great. I can't wait. I'm getting goosebumps. Feel me. Feel me.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
TTFN, ta-ta for now.
The opinions you just heard on the World of Boating are those of the hosts, callers, and guests. They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
What are you being such a weenie for?
While on the water, your safety and the safety of many others depends on you. So boat smart and operate your vessel only after receiving the proper training and instruction for your area.
There is a fine line between genius and madness.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at worldofboating.com.